Yo dog, Candy Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up with another tutorial. Want to hit you with this real quick. Thank you, veterans. The Hall of Veterans is coming together very nicely. Your support in bringing hobby back means so much to us. So I'm going to flip the script on you guys this week. I'm going to have the first video out on our launch week. Today's Monday, and thank you for checking out this tutorial. This is part 2 of how to paint a Crimson Hunter, Next Level Painting style. I also want to tell everyone, don't forget to check out all of our medias because we need your guys' help in spreading the word. Any kind of share on Facebook, any kind of share on Twitter, anything like that can help us. Also, don't forget to check out our new prize pack stuff. You can find all that in the links on our Facebook pages. We have some cool stuff in some prize packs. Without any further ado, let me let you guys check out this tutorial. Alright guys, let's do this thing. Let's finish up these Crimson Hunters. Last video, we laid down all the basic highlighting on the exterior. I'm going to kick this video off by doing some of the greens. These windows, we had them laid out separately. You know, this is how you do canopies. Like, don't glue them on and try to do anything with them afterwards. That is just not going to work. It's going to be a headache. And in my opinion, leaving the windows clear looks silly. It makes it look like a G.I. Joe toy. There's a rule that I live my life by in the hobby world, and it is never have an unpainted element on a painted model. A clear window is an unpainted element. It's a lot like when people buy like the jeweler's chains and wrap them around their demons, but don't paint them and just let it be the natural metal of the jeweler chain. I don't like the way that looks. You should just wrap it around, then prime it with the model and dry brush those up metal. So now that that opinion's out of the way, you can see why I do these canopies. So I started with my classic Iocin green from Privateer Press, worked into a Necrotite green also from Privateer Press, and then I'm just doing a little bit of Bad Moon Yellow from GW. And you can just see you work diagonally, a light highlight going toward a dark highlight, always on the cross piece. It's very simple. Once you see it done, you'll realize that it's not hard at all. You can go even more extreme. You can even add blacks if you want, but I'm going to keep this kind of like natural. We're going to apply this same technique to some of the gems on the Crimson Hunter. We're going to come in using the Iocin green, a little bit of water, and we're just going to lay them all down super quick. Treat this as the base coat, the dark color. Like I said, you can go extreme and you can like finalize it with black, but I'm trying to go a little more organic on this model, so I'm not going to do that. This is a methodical, this is the methodical part. This is that whole paint by numbers. You do not want to let yourself accidentally slop some green on the purple because it is essentially impossible to fix that once without completely airbrushing over what you've done. You also want to be very methodical because you don't want to like be flicking some watery green all over the place and getting little splatters. Like when you're working with a paint, when you're doing the base coat of a color, just be careful. Don't just sling it around like a madman. You got to be careful because, you know, you will accidentally, with the sheer force of the bristles going up and down over this rounded surface, you will accidentally flick some green onto your very beautifully transitioned purple. That is not good. That's also something that happens with metallics a lot. You got to be careful when you're slathering on those metallics. So we're moving this green along, and we're moving toward the next step where we're going to highlight this green. But I really wanted to sit here and show you this grind. I try to pick out one part of my video that is a grind. It's not glamorous. It is a headache. In this scene, I am listening to my audiobook and zoning out and just doing this task, and it is not fun. The fun part was the airbrush. This is the Gotta get it done and make it look beautiful for my collection 40K Psychosis part. Some of these gems are really huge too, so I'm gonna let those dry and I'm gonna jump into quickly painting the exhaust ports. And it's like I said, it's a metallic. You gotta be careful. We're slathering on gun metal gray from Vallejo Air. Those are great metallics and they lay down easily, but they're very watery. These are the types of metallics that have a habit of splattering on things near them if you're moving too fast. Ask me how I know. I've ruined things. So green is drying, we're laying down the metallic, and we will come back to the green as soon as we lay down the metallic on all three flyers. Instead, we work in threes. You don't finish one and then go to another. We do all the same elements in all three, building them up together in an assembly line fashion. You can see that the model is coming out really sharp just by splashing out some of those green gems. Like, they're not even highlighted yet, and doing those exhaust ports, you can just see like it's starting to sharpen up the model. It's funny how just a couple of details, like I posted a picture of this on Facebook at this level of completion, and people loved it and they thought it was done. And you can see that, like, that's that whole airbrush saved us a lot of time thing, but there's much more work to be done to bring it to that next level. So let's jump into these canopies. We're going to paint now. This is obnoxious, but you guys to do it. Painting the frames the same purple as the flyer. Ask me how could you possibly paint these frames in on these canopies if you didn't paint it like or prime it? Have you ever tried painting an acrylic paint over clear plastic? Like, it doesn't work. I don't know how they make these with the intent of us painting these frames in. Like, have you ever seen one that looked good, like these little Eldar ones? They're terrible. Don't do it. Do yourself a favor. Just paint canopies like this. It is so much easier and less frustrating, and I think it really frames the model out. Especially once you learn how to use your airbrush in a way to make these blends look clean. There's a lot of tricks on the internet of, like, using washes and this and that. Those are fine, but if you're proficient at the airbrush, this is a little sharper in my opinion. So once you knock out all the frames on these with our base really dark royal purple, you can begin thinking about gluing them onto the model, because that is a much better place to have them to do the final highlight. So pick up that next highlight color that we used from the first video. We used amethyst purple, and we're just highlighting these frames over this royal purple. Real quick, wet blend, highlight. Don't gotta go crazy here. You just gotta make a straight line, and you don't even have to line the whole thing. Like, I talk about that all the time. I refuse to do that. Just find the points, the major intersections, and just drag a couple of highlights down on those, and it will look great, and everyone will think you are a master at edge highlighting. But in reality, we hate edge highlighting, and we just do the thing that makes it look like we edge highlighted it. So let's jump back into these gems now that all that's dry. Using a little bit of necrotite green, we'll just kind of blend a quick highlight on one side of the gem. Whatever side you pick, do it the same side on all of them. To a section. Like, if the left wing is going to have the highlight on the left side of the gems, all the gems on that side will need to have that. And then, carry that theme on each panel on the flyer. Because light's going to hit things in different ways. You just don't want to have 4 gems in one section all having different highlight areas. So just go through with the necrotite green, and you're going to have to blend it back with the ios. Like, you don't just draw a line on with the necrotite green. These types of gems, like, you have to blend them. So you get your ios green out, you get your necrotite green out, you get a little bit of water, and you blend it back and forth until you're happy with it. It's a time-consuming process, and this will teach you, like, once you've done a few models like this with this many gems with this blending process, you're gonna just get 6 more skill points. You should be able to do it so much faster. And you can see how much sharper these gems are looking. It's like one highlight. We're not even in the final highlight yet. The final highlight we'll use a little bit of yellow on, and we'll just drag a tiny slither of a highlight on. But in the meantime, I know it's my own model, and of course I like it, but like, I mean, look how fresh it looks. It's just so simple. And here I am on a couple of these gems, apparently breaking my own rule of highlight side. Looks like I have 7 gems on this one surface, and at least 2 of them are on the wrong side of the highlights. I will refund my my client, all the money after he sees this video. I'm obviously lying. Anyway, jumping on the Bad Moon Yellow, dropping that final streak in there. Super simple, easy, barely have to blend it. Now here's something that not a lot of people know about. You see what I'm doing here is I'm dropping a dark purple inside the lines. GW is known for their like angular lines that go throughout their vehicles. That's kind of their style, the panels. I'm going in with that with a dark violet from I want to say Reaper, watering it down to almost like a wash and using a really good detail brush, and I'm just drawing this dark violet inside of all the lines. It's not a wash, because a wash would dry in a way that would make that would be kind of, it would be blended. It wouldn't have to be the total darkness that I want here. I want this thing to be totally dark purple, purpley blue, and it's acting like a wash. But like I said, these lines are just a little too thick for a wash to look proper. And obviously, this is the precursor to the edge highlight. This is the one time I kind of break my rule. We're going to edge highlight the shit out of these panels, because it needs to happen. It's going to take us about an hour extra of work on each one of these flyers for a total of 3 hours extra work, but it is going to take these things to that next level. I will definitely show you that on the next video. That's all for this video. We hit the greens, we hit the highlights on the gems, and we also worked our way into the pre-step to the edge highlighting. You can see here in the wrap up what they're going to look like in the next video. They're going to be finalized. We're going to finish them. I'm going to show you some taping. I'm going to show you some really precise airbrushing still to come. Thanks for checking out that video. Stay tuned for the final installment. I know I keep saying I'm going to try to start making these videos like one and dones, but there's just so much content. After I sit down and go through all my videos, it's like 5 hours of video to go through, and I'm trying to do 10-minute videos. So I promise to get better at that in the future. It's coming soon. I'm gonna have some really exciting Space Wolf stuff, really quick on the horizon, lots of Thunder Wolves, lots of Grey Hunters, all those cool things. Well, in the meantime, thanks for watching, players. Yo dog, thanks for checking out my channel. And don't forget, I've got plenty of other tutorials, tips and tactics, and many more. Also, if you get a chance, check out my best friend Robbie B's channel, Spiky Bits. He's got tons of sick videos dropping. Thanks for watching.